The Star Wars Resistance episode The New Trooper felt like the first time Kaz got to do some honest-to-goodness spying on the First Order, and it went pretty well. The story is set in motion when Kel and Ayla, the fugitive kids Kaz helped earlier in the season, accidentally knock a stormtrooper unconscious. I thought this would have been a cool time for Ayla to use the Force, since there have been hints that she's Force-sensitive, but that's fine. They turn to Kaz for help, and he takes the opportunity to wear the armor and learn more about what the First Order is up to. While he's off doing that, Niku and Tam guard the actual trooper who keeps waking up and then has to be knocked out again. Tam is still of the opinion that the First Order is good for the station. I mentioned last week that most of our cast is too young to know what the Empire was like, and Yeager points that out to her this time around, but she also learns from Kel and Ayla that they are in the business of destroying villages. I don't think she's fully against the First Order yet, but she's on her way. Kaz going undercover was handled pretty well. I was afraid he'd be overly goofy, but I think they struck a solid balance between legitimate threats and comedic beats. Last week it seemed like the First Order was mostly welcome on Colossus, but now it seems like most of the citizens are fed up with them. Kaz gets to witness a riot in the market where mostly alien protesters call for them to go home. I don't think that was an accident, since the First Order occupation episode last week showed them specifically roughing up non-human beings. By the way, the saga of Opipit and his confiscated floor scrubber is still in full swing, and it's a little side story I'm really enjoying. During the riot, Kaz sneaks onto the First Order shuttle to see what information he can steal. In the silliest part of the episode, he gets into a fight with a BB unit over a data stick. I thought it worked though. Kaz has this kind of touch-and-go relationship with BB-8, and I think it's funny even as a stormtrooper he can't get along with droids. But he recovers the data, and after a run-in with Commander Pyre, he has to make his escape. He swaps his armor with the original trooper, who is taken away for an ominous-sounding brain scrape. I'm relieved the First Order wasn't oblivious to CS515 all of a sudden acting weird, and I was surprised they explored that character even a little bit. I figured they would try to keep him basically faceless and unsympathetic, but throughout the story you can't help but feel at least a little bad for him. He takes 2 blows to the head, is dropped down a flight of stairs, and is electrocuted. Through him, we get a very interesting look into the life of a stormtrooper. Kaz's short talk with Pyre doesn't blow his cover, they simply think that his conditioning is erratic. But no big deal, they're apparently all set up for mental wipes and reprogramming on their shuttles. I've been under the assumption that FN2187 was a special case, but Captain Phasma's line about him not showing any prior signs of nonconformity I guess does suggest it's something they're familiar with, and they have like a mobile process for dealing with it in case it happens out on a mission. First Order stormtroopers are treated kind of like battle droids complete with memory wipes. Not too long ago we did a video about Finn and the stormtroopers and the idea that he could help other troopers break free from their brainwashing to start a stormtrooper revolt. I'm really interested in that idea because it would give a character arc to all the faceless, white-armored troopers we're so used to seeing in all 3 Star Wars trilogies. I don't want to jump the gun here, but giving us a chance to connect with another helmetless stormtrooper and reveal that Finn's might not be a unique situation could be evidence of what's to come. The episode ends with Kaz and Yeager analyzing the stolen First Order data, which includes a map of apparently First Order fleets. The planets written on the map include Jakku, Takodana, Jeddah, Yavin, and Tuan Keti. I wouldn't read into that too much for hints on the future, but it's cool that 2 planets we know the First Order is about to visit in The Force Awakens are on their radar. I also think it would be awesome if we saw Jeddah in Episode 9, even though the last time we saw it in the comics it wasn't looking so hot, so I'd say that's unlikely. And Tuan Keti is an interesting inclusion. It's only briefly appeared once in the Darth Maul comic. With knowledge of the size of the First Order Navy, Yeager speculates that they want the Colossus as a refueling platform. I'm sure that's part of it and it makes sense, but it's also the most obvious answer, so I'm hoping there's more to it. But all in all, The New Trooper was a good episode. Next week is called The Core Problem, and I think it's going to show Poe and Kaz investigating those creepy ruins from the trailer. Maybe they learn their location from the stolen data stick. I'm optimistic Resistance will be able to keep up this momentum, but let me know what you thought of The New Trooper in the comments. If you want to see my other episode reviews, check out this playlist here. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.